You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia.
You are welcome to the Bottom Line Liberia, and this is how we want to start this beautiful edition of the program today. This is the 21st of November 2023, and I cannot believe that 2023 is growing very old on the calendar, that we will be counting weeks now to the end of 2023. But let's say welcome to you, my colleague there, Jima Kamara in Studio 2 in the UK, specifically in Manchester. Welcome, brother.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Wow. Tell me a little bit about the weather from your end, because for me here, we're freezing. Yesterday we were -14, and I don't know how it's going to be. I haven't checked. I hate to check anyway. I wake up and receive the weather as it is. I look through my window when it's snowing, then I accept it.
Yeah, the good thing about Linfo is like we live in different worlds. So while it's very, very cold in your area, we have in the rain here, a downpour of rain at some point. We normally Manchester kind of called Rainchester because if you look through the window right now, it's raining at the moment. So it's not that very cold. It's a bit windy and yeah, it's raining. It's wet off and on. It has been like that for the week. So you're going to go. We have some strong wind blowing last weekend. And this week is going very well. We have a couple of rains around here. I don't know about the part of UK, but the northwest, which is Manchester specific, we having some rainfalls here, showers at some point.
And I want to believe it is the same in my part of the UK, Southampton, because we're located on the coast. So all of the countries along the coastline, like Brighton, Southampton, Bournemouth, Portsmouth, and the rest of the place, they are windy. It's always windy. And trust me, Southampton is one of the coolest places. I remember going to uni all the time. There were these big towers, 2-3 of them together somewhere there, skyscrapers, and right around there. Between there was a shortcut to my place. When I need someone that, every time I reach, I have to use my hood, because it's blowing. But we want to say welcome to our folks, and tonight is going to be an interesting night of discussions again on the Bottom Line Liberia. As you know, we usually give our opinions on the issues as they unfold. And like we always say, our opinions are not right, neither are they wrong. It's just what we feel and what we have to say. So tonight we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be discussing some of the issues in Liberia, especially in the newspapers. And from there, we'll be going on to other things. So we're going to have a short music. And after that, we'll be coming back to look into our major dailies in Liberia. That's the major newspapers making headlines. And YouTube, Facebook, we do not have copyright to this music that we're going to play, but it's played by a Liberian. And so that's why we use it on our program, because we are Liberians doing a Liberian program. So we have no copyrights to it. This is our disclaimer. Please do not block our video for that, Facebook and YouTube.
hotlbr.com.
Exclusive from hotlbr.com.
If you marry, your trouble really begins. If you marry brave woman, every day Pambata will let it to Tabatu. If you marry Baza woman, every day full money, Tonika Mudiari, Chinika Bonnie Monkey, you play that of you. If you marry Buza woman, every day Tawaki, Lawaninganaya. If you marry Vaumaya, every day Pasayama and Jaffin Lafao. So you put your way, come my put away. Kalokadia way, Baka in one. If you marry a easy woman, she was shopping your little teeth. Some put on faces like angels. But we got to know them in reality. I wasn't a little devil. If you marry a single woman, every day in trouble, darling, by my issues, and my little father. So you put your word down my prayer. If you marry a man or woman here, in the morning. If you marry a power woman, call it for you. If you marry a grand woman here, every day fire go, in a soup fire go. If you marry a crew woman here, in the morning pepper. If you marry a man woman, every day summer. If you marry, the trouble really begins. If you marry, your trouble really begins. I don't want any pretty woman, I want one with plenty of money. But a pretty woman to trouble some here. What I use to be so beautiful. So you put your way here. So you put your work down my put away. Look at your way back a year. If you marry a single woman, every day in trouble, darling, by my issues and my little father. If you marry a cute woman here, every day in my tablets, if I give you energy.
Exclusive from hotlbr.com.
Downloaded from hotlbr.com.
Get a quick from hotlbr.com.
Go and get it quick from hotlbr.com.
hotlbr.com, Pili.
hotlbr.com.
Exclusive from hotlbr.com.
Info, that's it. That's the legendary Jones Dopo. Linfo, you're muted.
Yeah, the legendary Jones Dopo We'll be coming back with more information about him, and of course, side 1 2. But this is how we'd like to open a program tonight, the bottom line Liberia, and of course, as you see the disclaimer rolling on the bottom of the screen there, we have no copyrights to that music. It's a Liberian music, and we are Liberians, and when we have in our programs, we love to play some of our Liberian music, and especially so a traditional one like that. But let me say welcome again to all of you watching us tonight. Just in case you joining us for the first time, this is the Bottom Line Liberia. We do have our online radio on as well. You can download it on Google Play or on your Apple shop or Apple apps shop. Don't go to the store and ask for Apple to go to split it and go download. You got the Apple.
By the way, what I'm talking about, let me see if I can let it roll here. This is what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. So you can download it on the Apple Store. That is on the internet. When you open it, look for the Bottom Line Liberia and you will see it and you can download it. Just a click and then it will download and it will tell you to open it. When you open it, you hear it. It's on all the time. We play Liberian music. We even carry the national news from Liberia. The same thing you can do on Google Play Store. So we have the online radio. So if you miss us there, you can catch us on the online radio. You can also follow us on YouTube and of course on Facebook. And so tonight, like I said, we'll be going through some of the local dailies. That is the major newspapers in Liberia. And so Jima, it's over to you. Just flip in what you want us to look at and we can take a look.
Linford, thank you very much. While we're trying to get rid of what we want to let you know is like we bring in a lot of newspapers in Liberia. There are a lot of daily newspapers in Liberia. We look for the most recent one, and we look for the more credible newspapers. They're all credible, but we're looking for stories that are making headlines in the week. From Monday to Friday, more especially looking into Daily Observer, Front Page Africa, the Inquirer, the News, and other leading newspapers in Liberia. So we'll be looking at first. We'll be while we're trying to we want to look at what's happening in Liberia at the moment after elections. I know we don't want to go over the election result. You know what the result was, and what we want to take you to after the result. People have high expectation. So what is next for the coming government, the leadership, new leadership? So what we have right now will be like the government of Liberia under the leadership of Mr. George Weah. This is what he's done. Linford, he has issued, this is what the person have done. This is from the Daily Observer newspaper. There was a new release. The executive marshal came out with a release. This is the job the president has to do. He came out with executive order 123, which allowed the smooth transition of to a new leadership. So what he has done, he has set up a committee called the Joint Presidential Transitional Team, the JPTT, Linford, where he has named some ministers for his leadership, for his government, together with the leadership. The president-elect a team to come over a transitional government where we facilitate the transition to that will happen before inauguration in January next year. So this is how it looks like for now, Linford.
Okay, yeah, I think that's, for me, that's a good step right there to set up a transitional team, and especially set it up through an executive order. I guess this may, not will, but may be the final executive order by the outgoing president, George Weah. And I think that's a good sign that indeed we're going to have a smooth transition, from the old government or from the current government to the incoming government.
Yeah, but just another addition to what's happening right now is like, I'll just name the people the President Weah has named. I'll just name some ministries that will be part of they call it the JPTT. That's a joint presidential transitional team. Where we say the kitchen cabinet. When the president was election in the country, the president elect to come up with a team that work with the incumbent leadership to come up with a government that were able to make a smooth transition to the new leadership. So what George Weah has done, President Weah has done, he named some people, some ministry to work with Mr. Barker, Ambassador Barker team to able to facilitate this transition, smooth transition. So therefore, the minister's named by the president honor his 123 executive order. This is constitutional. So the president has to constitutional order, come up with the order, Executive Order 23, which is stipulated in the Constitution that he has to give up the transition so he able to pass the leadership to they call it the gavel to the next leadership. So what he did, the president named the president he will be elected as a co-chair of the president will be the co-chair on the JPTT, on the joint presidential. He will be on the co-chair on it. And on that ministry, what he did name for, he is as Minister of Foreign Affairs, Deputy Dean of the Cabinet, Minister of Finance and Development and Planning, Minister of Justice, the Minister of National Defense, and the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. Others include the Minister of Internal Affairs, Minister of Lands and Mines and Energy, Minister of Health, Governor of the National Central Bank of Liberia, Economic Advisor to the President, Legal Advisor to the President, National Port Authority, National Social Security Welfare Corporation, Liberia Maritime Affairs Authority, Liberia Revenue Authority, Deputy Director General of the General Service Agency, Liberian Electricity Corporation, 3 other members to be appointed at the discretion of the incumbent president. So according to the president order issued by the president on this today, which is Tuesday, the president-elect is invited to designate 20 persons to the joint presidential transitional team, all of whom must be Liberian citizens, so as to facilitate the work of the joint presidential transitional team in a timely manner. So just therefore, what the thing is, Mr. Barker will come up with 20 names that will allow him to form part of the name the president has also given to work together to facilitate this transition. So this is what we're waiting for. So probably before the end of the week, we expect the Unity Party-led government to come up with their teams that will be part of the transition government, which will be calling the Kitchen Cabinet.
Mm-hmm. But if you look at this team set up by the president, I think there are key ministers and other directors and officials on that team, and it makes it even more easier for the incoming government because, for instance, you got a minister of you got the minister of finance, development, finance planning and development. Then you have the foreign minister. Also, you have the justice minister,
right?
And you have the central bank governor. So those are key areas. Plus other public corporations, including the National Port Authority, I think Library Electricity Corporation and stuff like that. So those are key areas that the new government will also have to look at and then work with. So I think that's a good step. Like I said, that's a good step forward in a transitional period. And so we're going to wait to see how it works out. We're going to see how the incoming government or the president-elect will elect his or will appoint his team as well, so that they can all work with the team that the current president has named. But one thing I will speculate is that most of the people I think that the incoming or the president-elect will appoint to work with this transitional team could just be people that will occupy some of those key areas. What do you think?
Yeah, that's very common. What you just said, Lynn, for it's something like we've seen over the years. I mean, when there's a new leadership coming in, what they will do, they'll come up, the close people around him. I think we also believe that what you saw past under George Weah leadership for the past years here, Lynn Ford it was not actually inclusive. The government was not inclusive at all. It was all, you have to pay homage to CDC before you become part of the leadership. I hope this time the leadership under the UP-led government will come kind of, put their arms around everybody to be part of this government. So because for past 6 years, Liberians have seen a lot. And we want to have an inclusive government, despite being a unity-led government. I know it was coalitions. This is not like making other people happy. We want qualified people to run this government. We want people that the old man will come around with, people that he work with. That's why even if you bring somebody in your kitchen cabinet where you help you to facilitate transition, and you also need to look at across the aisle, the other side of the story. They to bring other on board. So I
think it sounds good. It sounds good as a Liberian. Yeah, Mary, welcome, Mary. I think it sounds good as a Liberian to say we want the president, the new government to do this. But again, it's left, Liberian politics has boiled down to this party politics, right? where if you didn't support me, you are not part of me. If you are not, once you didn't sing my song, you were against me. And we see it's working out, that people are becoming very, we're discussing about these things. Though it's still early, but people are becoming very unfriendly towards people who did not support them. And you had, for God's sake, a small country like Liberia, okay, where everybody knows each other. You had 20 parties participating in an election or in elections, okay? So you expect that everybody will go and vote for one person. So we must have as well have a monarchy where we all agree, okay, just make this president the president, okay? But we practicing something called democracy. So everybody will have to have a choice. At the end of the day, we are all Liberians though, but like I said, the country is too small to have that number of parties. So when you have that number of parties, everyone that comes into the race to participate, that person has followers, they got relatives. So you don't expect me to move from behind my father who is running to go and join another person. So if my father doesn't win, then the person that wins feels that, I was not for him, I was against him. No, I think that's ludicrous. But again, we as Liberians, we can only hope that that it's going to work out the way we are thinking. And I don't know how it's going to work out. But from what I'm seeing from the onset, where people are even telling people not to tag them in their post because they were against GMB, they wanted to, and those are people, the people who saying these things are people who GMB would love to even listen to, because they blended themselves as rescue this, rescue that. So it means that they were on the battlefront for GMB. So if one of them would tell me, do not tag me, I'm just giving an example. Nobody have told me that though, but they told somebody openly on the Facebook that do not tag me because you were trying to destroy JMB, you were not for him. So just to tag Jima in my post, and Jima will tell me, oh no, you are not supporting comments, so don't tag me. It's scary. Okay, so I think, like you said, we're hoping that it's going to be inclusive. That's what Liberians will love to see.
Yeah, it was the past 6 years. We saw it was abhorrent. It was reckless when the CEC government did not include others. I mean, they were like so blunt about it. At some point, the minister, the last video I saw when the Eugene Nagbe said that they will not bring in, even if they do win the leadership, they will not bring in anybody like somebody for Unity Party. And I also understand that there's a guy called, I think the Deputy Minister for Transportation, something Wulu or something, when they have to sack him because he was from a different party when he wanted to become, I think he was appointed to serve in the Ministry of Transport or something. And the government, it was a CDC party, a party that they really didn't like him to come on board because he was not CDC, but he is a Liberian. So when he's qualified, what can he get in time to run? To serve the country. This is the time I think they should be speaking the peace pipe, smoking peace pipe, and you speaking about bringing qualified people into the country that are able to get country to help or run that country. I know GMB believe in that. I know that he may have some difficulty right now to make decisions with people around him. It's difficult. People have mortgaged their life to Unity Party, and you need to have, you can't satisfy everybody, Linford. Liberia belongs to every one of us. But if you think you want to satisfy a few people around you, that's what happened. That's attributed to the field of George Weah. For the past 6 years, people that are around him, key ministers, all key ministers, there was no change in the key ministries. They had them all there for 6 years. I know they will keep making mistakes. At some point, they will really keep loud saying, we need these people. Few people were named to be changed. There was nobody listening to them. And this is the end of it. And you saw that they kind of punish him, saying that, well, you didn't listen to us. Now we got to listen to us. And the good thing we learn for all we are saying, Liberians have the right. Their vote is the power, and they use that vote very wisely to show to do what do they want. You saw it for the first round. It continued the second round. And despite all the popularity showing of this guy, the Liberian was like, people think that Liberians are not stupid. They know what they want. I think that also they gave the old man the authority to make sure that we have the skills he have, as we believe. We're able to change things in our country. And we'll be looking at his 100 days for. You said in the next 100 days, what he'll be doing for Liberia. So let's see what the president-elect said he will be doing. This is what he said. What would Baka set first 100 days deliverables? So what we expect from him? This is what you're going to do in the first 100 days. He said, let's see what you got here for him. He said he will make sure like the road network will be good. And a lot of things he said in the first 100 days. But I think this is Liberians are there are high expectation for the leadership. I think we should not be expecting a lot from him for now. He got a lot to do on his plate at the moment, Linford. Liv, what do you think? I think he had a lot on his plate to make a quick promises right now.
Well, again, this is a government. This is a government that has been campaigning for years. They've been in opposition for years. They've been expecting to become government for years. So I think they have all of those things in place. Not only because they have won election, but I think they have everything planned. So their 100 days shouldn't be a tic-tac-toe. You remember that game we used to play with the triangular stuff? Tic-tac-toe. That is, you're picking chance. You put it to T. If it doesn't work, take it to tie. If it doesn't work, take it to toe. So I think they should have their game plan already carved in stone, that starting from day one, they can start going. They still have 1 more month, or let's say 2 more months to go. So, or 1.5 months to go specifically. So I think they still have time to work out things, and then their 100-day plan could just materialize. But I think that they will not be operating from a vacuum, because they have been in opposition. In fact, the party structure, not the individuals do, but the party structure has been in power for 12 years, and then 6 years, another 6 years in opposition. That's about 18 years in politics. So the party structure should know how to work. But again, it depends on the individuals that will be within the party, because the structure is there. It's like a house. Okay, the house was here. People were living in the house for 12 years. Then the people moved out. They went out to rent. Then they coming back inside again after another 6 years. So they know, they see people coming back, so they should know where the rooms are, where the leakages are, and everything. So I think it's going to be easier for them with the first 100-day deliveries.
All right, just a little bit of on what he said about what he would do. Just be specific. The newspaper. This is from the New Down newspaper. Linford. It came up today. It was published in the newspaper today. It says it's a Liberian local daily. It says the president-elect is expected to be sworn into office on the 29th of January 2024. So what he said, like, speaking in an exclusive interview with the journalists following the pronouncement by the National Elections Commission declaring him winner, Ambassador Barker extolled Liberians for voting and protecting their votes during the runoff. Then what he said, he promised what he's going to do in the 100 days. He said, he assured Liberians that the UP government will bring to pass all the Liberian people had been yearning for, stating that Liberia will have cooperations. My first 100 days deliverables, we will quickly review and find reason for the hardship in the areas that are essential to the livelihood of Liberians. If the price of rice is high, it will be reduced. I have also said that in my first 100 days, no car will get stuck into the mud or major roads, and I mean that, Ambassador Barker vowed. The Liberian president-elect further that his 100 days deliverable will also focus on the health of Liberians, cost of living, roads across the country to improve the earnings and living conditions of Liberians. And also his ambassador is noted that they are now preparing for transition, and they are planning for inauguration, adding that after the transition, his government will begin rolling out its activities. So meanwhile, Ambassador Barker has congratulated incumbent President George Emmanuel Weah for conceding defeat in the presidential runoff election. He assured Liberians, Weah and the CDC that he was willing to work with them. So this is it. He said he will make sure that you review things, Linford, and what he's saying over the years. There are a lot of hardship in the country, and they want to review, the government will review that and make sure that the road network have facility, the healthcare delivery system. They'll be looking into that. They'll be looking at other areas that the Liberian feel that they need to look at immediately, more especially the staple food rice. They'll be looking at the rice price is so high. They want to make sure they're looking to reducing the right price for the people, because condition in the country is very hard at the moment. So those are key things, Josephine. Linford, they're looking at that they will be considering more, especially the high level of price hiking in the staple food. which is rice. You'll be looking into that. Road network, they want to look into that. They want to make sure in first 100 days in office, we don't have a major road from Monrovia to Grand Jita to Sano or to Maryland. Will be clear. So those cars will not get stuck into the mud. So I just think it's a little bit over. It's a bit ambiguous, for the 100 days from now to Maryland, you clear the roads and get.
Yeah, it sounds so good. It sounds so smooth on the paper. When you're reading it, it's like you're just gliding over the ice. I do ski, right? And I not just ordinary ski, I do the slalom from uphill down, the uphill. And you go like 25, 30, the professional guys will go like 35, 40 kilometers per hour. So you can run faster than a car, than some car, taking off. So it sounds easy doing it, but the hurdles are there,
But you just said something. Let me hold you back. You said that the government has been waiting, Mr. Barker has been in the leadership past 12 years. He said he will make sure they will got no car stuck into the mud in the major highways from Monrovia to Maryland.
But listen to me. Let me lay my premise. I'm not doubting though, but for me, I just like to be careful. And they say experience is the best teacher. I like to go into history. George, the United Party was there for 12 years too, and we didn't see all of this happening automatically. And then fast forward, the CDC government came in, and things became hard. The country is practically broke. 1, 2, the country needs to do a lot of things. And then we talk and road. Look, let me tell you, road connectivity, road projects are expensive. Any construction projects, they are expensive projects. So you have a broke country, 1, where we don't know the economic status of the country. Number 1, our GDP is very low. And 2, we depend on handouts from international community. And so when we come out with these promises, for me, it sounds good to the ear. Like I said, it's good. It's very smooth on the paper, but there are those hurdles. We heard it during the Joshua time, and then we are hearing it again. We even heard it during the Ellen time. Okay, so we're hoping to. My hope here is that, as they say, it will happen. Now, can you imagine even paving or short, small road between, Monrovia to Kakata or Monrovia to Bassa? It took a long time. It took a lot of resources. Over 12 years, the United Party was there. That one of the major achievements they had. That piece of road from Monrovia to Buchanan, okay? And the road was already paved though before. All they had to do to regrade it. So if we talk about the Southeast project, then my mind go to the coastal highway that was promised, okay? So, for me, I'm not skeptical, but I try to just look at history, recent history, and try to be careful as to what I promise from people, as to what I think I will do when I cannot actually afford. I live in Norway, and Norway is one of the countries that built very good roads because of the terrible weather we got. The soil here is not the soil in Africa, which is made of clay. The thing got that sand. The whole ground is sand. Some of the trees that one man can push a tree and throw it down because it's all sand. The roots don't go under the ground. And so the people, when they're building road, it takes like a short piece of road. It will take like almost 2 years because they build by season. They build it in the winter part, they do it. Then they wait for the spring part, they do it. They wait for the fall part, they do it. And the summer part, then they complete it. So when we talking about major highways, long roads, we're not talking about one short piece of road, and then we say we get do is our 90 days plan or 100 days, just 90 days plus 10, 3 months plus 10 days. So I don't know how would you where we get our King Maris? There used to be this King Maris that used to have the Maris touch. Everything he touched at the time would turn to gold right away. So I'm looking at that King Maris illusion. But let's wait and see.
Yeah, before we move to the next clip of the newspaper, just to remind you, we are reviewing a Liberian daily newspaper. This is from the daily newspaper called the New Down newspaper. We're looking at the 100 days deliverable of the president-elect. He said he was speaking to the journalists, and this was reported in the New Down newspaper. He said, quote unquote, this is what the president-elect said. My first 100 days deliverables will quickly review and find reasons for the hardship in the areas that are essential to the livelihood of Liberians. If the price of the rice is high, it will be reduced. I've also said that my first 100 days, no car will get stuck in the mud on major roads. And I mean that, Ambassador Waka vowed. So we want to take this and listen and wait 100 days. That's 100 days. That's roughly 2 months plus a little bit.
That's going to be from January, February, March. Okay, let's add April.
Let's add 4 months, basically. 30 days, 30 days. We stay another 30 days. That's 3 months. So 90 days will be 3 months.
And it reminds me of, like I said before, the United Party have been there before, so they know all the loopholes, how to get money and other things. Disregarding the people that will be in the government, but look at the party. That party was there 12 years, so they know where to turn around. So when the blind man say, I will stone you, you should make sure that maybe you already got it right here.
Oh, you got
maybe the past 6 years, the old man been collecting all the money, he pack it, or he got all the contact, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting. I like the courage that the president, let's say, he would do it. 100 days in office, because we also listen to Komi's other leaders that said they got 100 days. Probably were prepared. For the past 6 years, they've been prepared. They know he's prepared now, which he can live up to what he said. Because these things are record, and we'll be bringing out in the next 100 days. Because it's 100 days.
Okay, let me get tissue or tissue probably a little bit. What if those deliveries are not even seen in the first 100 days? Then why should we? We
will remind the president-elect that this is what he said, and because it's already on paper, and this is record, because he's still
Joshua makes me no promises, and when people try to say, "But we didn't get money, the country is broke." But anyway, it's too soon. It's too soon to start thinking, the other way around. So let's
we have a right to critique and look at it and put it out, because this was published in the newspaper on the 21st of November, 2023. So it means it will come back after 3 months, 10 days, right? 3 months, 10 days. We should be able to know what the president-elect have said, or the president have said concerning the more difficult things. Deliverable number one, you will reduce the high price, the prices are high. You will make sure no car got stuck into mud in the major roads. That means he's not saying he's going to pave the road with quota, whatever we're talking about, pave it. He said he will make it much more accessible. So that means
there is one part of that 100-day plan. There is one part of that 100-day plan that I think I agree with. The one that talk about reviewing the areas where houses.
You want me to go over that for you? Go on. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the party said they will review the areas where hardship, affecting the Liberian people, and then they can find solution. I think that I agree with. For instance, you can set up a committee to begin to check why is rice so expensive, why is gasoline so expensive, or why is it that civil servants are not taking pay on time. Those things that you can. I mean, it doesn't hurt to study those things, to know the causes, why things are happening. To tackle it is another aspect of it, but to study and know the solution, first discover the problem and then try to find a solution to it, that I think is manageable. That can work. But to promise these big promises, for me, I think if I were ever to be president, I will not promise anything. I will tell you, just wait and see what will happen. We will work, wait and see. But because Liberians, we are very hopeful. We want to see things happen. So the moment he tells them we'll do this, okay, we're ready to see it. But if you don't do it, whether your hands are tied or not, because
let's pray and keep our finger crossed, and we wait up.
Yeah, mine are crossed already.
Let's hope and believe that the president-elect will deliver, and this is what we want for Liberia. We've been sitting here for the past year speaking for prosperity for Liberia. I think our job is to explain it. It was published by the newspaper. This is what he said, and let's look into it. Something will come out, and we believe that he will deliver it. So let's wish him well. And now we move on to this story. This in Niba County, Linfo. You want to talk about this?
I see the story. First, the headline is a bit catchy and confusing, which is a normal thing in newspaper headline.
This was reported by the New Dawn newspaper. This came out. It was today on Tuesday. Were published by the local newspaper, the New Dawn newspaper. I'll tell you what is the background of the information info. They say following the national elections announcement result for the just ended results of the November 14, 2023 runoff, various local government offices in Neighbor County are being massively looted. The state properties that were assigned to the various government ministries and agencies in the county are being swept away into neighboring Guinea. The looting is being executed by outgoing officials after hearing results from the runoff election, which is ruling CDC lost to the opposition UP. So is this something common?
Well, I believe I don't want to institutionalize it. I don't want to give it credence. I don't want to, what can I say, legalize it by saying, yeah, it's common. But these are events that we see every time there is a shift in government, no matter how, in which form. Whether it was through, let me go back to 1979, the Rest Riot, April 14. Okay. There was Rest Riot, and people turned out into the street to loot. Okay. And people looted the entire Monrovia. I don't know whether it extended to other countries, but I was in Monrovia then. So it extended to the entire Monrovia. People looted everything you can think about. Okay. So then came 1980, April 12. The same thing. There was some looting somewhere. Okay. Then during the war, the major war, all of the war that fought, people looted everywhere. From every country was looted somehow. Okay.
But
and then
this was not a change of leadership. This was a fight. I mean, some kind of riot in the country.
Yeah, but no. That if you go to the 1970, 1980, something in the coup, that was a change of leadership by violence, and people looted.
No, this is a smooth transition. I mean, democratic process. Why will you loot your
listen,
national?
I will arrive. I told you. I said I don't want to institutionalize it. I don't confirm it. I don't want to legalize it that this is something that can happen or that should be happening. But what I'm saying is that every time we have a change in leadership, whether true violent means or a smooth transition like this one, we experience something like this. Now, those events that are named, the 1979 riot, Rest Riot, was not a change of government, but it was violent and people looted. Then it came to the change of government by violence, 1980, people looted. When the war came, which was also intended to change the government or to overthrow the government, the people looted. Then every time we see smooth transition, government officials are taking cars and selling it. And it doesn't, not only during the transitional period, even election, all the parties that come into the race, some of them buy cars for their election, campaigning and stuff like that. After the campaign, all the cars disappear. You can't find it. The Liberty Party was one example. I knew people in the Liberty Party who had cars assigned to them by the Liberty Party, and those cars disappeared after they lost the election. So you see, even it happened in the CPP, okay, or ANC at the time. So the point I'm making here is that normally these things will happen, but it's for us to say that it should be happening or it's supposed to happen, I think it's wrong. Those are dishonest people. That is dishonesty, that people, they are stealing. There's just no way to put it. They are stealing. So they shouldn't be doing that.
Right. I mean, this is like they've looted. So this could be also repeated in other counties. What do you think?
Well, yeah, of course. Nobody can stop it. In as much as other people are doing it. So they too will do it. They say, monkey see, monkey do.
But it was also reported in local newspaper when senatorial elections and presidential election took place. And I also understand some defeated candidates from these House of Reps and Senate were backing things off the Capitol building. It was also reported in the newspaper, taking almost everything from there, the air conditioner, everything that the government paid for, and they took it away. It's considered to be the properties. So what they are saying here, government properties in various ministries, in various counties, like if you are living in Cape Town area, if you are ministry of any ministry, you know that you're not going to be reappointed. What you would do, anyone you can lay hand on, you would take a cross into a Sierra Leone and sell them. What's that happening in neighbor country right now? They're thinking things according to the newspaper, new down newspaper, that things are some ministries in areas in a neighbor county, administrative headquarters, which is Sanico, the things being packed and sent across to Guinea and sell them. It could include government properties, cars, and stuff like that. But Therefore, does the government has any? You should be. I know you know much about like a record of these things. People should be held accountable for these things.
I think
because
should
if
be
this is going to be repeated, consider next year there's a change of leadership after 6 years. It could also happen if there's no action taken against the people, because what you just said has been going on for years. So it means nothing happened to the even political parties where when they are defeated, cars and motorbikes or things, government property given to them, they don't be returned. They cross the border with, they sell them and they don't come back. So how can we stop these things? These are government property. This is your money, my money, and the taxpayer money. If from the government, if you giving a responsibility and you did not win, and why taking government properties away to cross across different countries and sell them? Why should that happen? How can we stop this?
Well, first of all, two things. They have to establish the fact, the actual fact that these things are happening. One. Two, then they have to know who were in control of those government properties, because I know those government properties were not just there and then anybody can walk in and take it. So say you were superintendent of Nima County, you were assigned 2 cars by the government for the use of the county, and after the elections, those cars disappear. You must disappear as well, or else if you stay there as superintendent, you will be questioned by the new administration. So I don't think it's impossible to actually find out who took those things, if it is true. That's why I'm saying that they should first of all establish as to whether these things are missing or people are carrying them across the country or the border to sell it. So you got to first establish it, and when you establish it, then you begin to trace where these things were supposed to be and why are they not there and who was supposed to be in control of them. So that's a simple thing. Or else the person who was in control and the item must just both disappear, and then it will be difficult to find where it's at. But if the item disappears and the person who was supposed to be in charge is still available, they can find it.
Yeah, but are you aware of anybody in the past that been punished or punished or brought to court for taking government property, selling across the border, like what is happening in Niba County? Because what is happening, the New Dawn newspaper reported a massive looting in Niba County. That means like they are aware, and it was reported. Reporters came from there. They may not, we cannot independently verify this, but it's reported in the New Dawn newspapers that massive looting took place in Niba County after the run of election. When CDC lost the election, when George Weah declared that when he conceded, people took government properties across to Guinea and they've been selling them. So this could be repeated in other counties, like I'm saying, Grand Jide, we can go to Ivory Coast area and sell government property. It can also happen around Cape Mount area where they can cross over to what is Sierra Leone and sell them, because those are the countries we border with now at the moment. So though Bon County can do the same thing too. They are seeing their Lofa also border with Guinea. They can government ministries in those counties can do the same thing. But are you aware of anybody being punished in the past that taking government property, selling them across, and have them arrested and punished for it because it was taxpayer money? It should have been done like that. Or they are all criminals if they've been charged.
Quite frankly, to answer your question directly, I've been out of Liberia for over 20 years. 1, 2, I've been to Liberia 2 times. After the 20 years, I've been there only 2 times, and I visited for a very short time. And besides that, I do not follow the day-to-day activities of happenings within the government or in government ministries. So I cannot say that I know I'm aware of anybody, but I think I've been hearing some time ago, I think it was during the Ellen government when Mary Bro was GSA, or was it via government or Mary Bro, one of those governments she was. And she was working at GSA, and I think she tried to retrieve some government properties.
She was head of GSA under George Weah leadership.
Oh, okay. And then she tried to retrieve some government properties that were being tampered with or something like that. But I don't specifically know anybody who has been prosecuted for taking away government properties, intentionally to go sell simply because of transition or for some reason, no.
Right. If you just join us, this is the Important Live. We will come to you live from to Studio 1, Studio 2. My colleague Linfo Egwan Gwe is in Studio 1 in that's Norway, and I'm in Manchester, United Kingdom. We bring it to you now. We're going through the the daily newspaper clips from Liberia. We're just looking at the story from Niba County, reported by the New Down newspaper, the Liberian local newspaper, saying that a massive looting has taken place in Niba County. Government property has been taken across to Guinea and be sold by those government officials that were there running the very government ministries. So we can then independently verify this, but we're just quoting the newspaper, New Down newspaper, reported today, that's the 21st of November 2023. Therefore, we move on to the next story, which is the story of this is the story right now. Therefore, we are pleased for mercy. Is he pleading for mercy? It's a question mark. Are you aware of this story?
Well, you know, like I said before, you know, you and I, we are in a media business for long, and you know, these are the kind of sensational headlines that people will carry, and to make the buyers to rush for that paper. And they were not there. If you read the details of that story, I'm sure it will tell you that did not plead for mercy. He did not say, "Oh, what is he pleading for? Why has he done wrong? Has he?"
Okay, I'll give you. Let me give you a background. It came from them. There's another angle to this story, Linfo. What happened? There was a purported, I can say, it's not being verified by the Unity Party. There was a press release about persecuting government officials of the past government, which is the present government anyway. And this is why, which a Unity Party denied that they did not come up with that press release, which says that they should persecute the leadership, those officials of the Unity Party, of the CDC government. So I think he used what, according to the newspaper story, which is published by the Daily Observer, Linfo. I'll read the story. It says, he was speaking, this is a quote from the newspaper, the Daily Observer newspaper, which is published today, the 21st of November. He said, he said, outgoing President George Weah has called on the president-elect Joseph Boakai to refrain from pursuing any of his officials on allegations of corruption, stating that it will be a witch hunt. Addressing a jam-packed audience at his congregations yesterday, the president noted that he expects Boakai not to pursue officials from his administration, just as he did not persecute anyone from the first Unity Party government when the president-elect, will serve as vice president.
Okay, I think I get a gist of the.
Let me go on to the statement he quote unquote. The quote in the newspaper quoted President Weah. He said, "We must prioritize the welfare of our people and the development of the country." We are quoted. We are quoted. We are said less than hours after conceding defeat to Boakai by pursuing witch hunts against my official and me, we risk derailing the peace we have worked towards. Unquote. So, what do you think about that? He said it. Didn't he?
Two things I would say. First and foremost, to audit a government, for a succeeding government to audit the predecessor is not a strange thing, and it's not a witch hunt. It's not bad. So, the United Party government has the right to do that if they want to do it. And they also have the right not to do it if they don't want to do it. Like CDC chose not to do it with the United Party for being in office for 12 years. So that is laid aside. It is solely the prerogative of the government that is coming to power. Two, Weah is now also pleading for mercy. He's giving a warning. The last quote that he just said, he said, if they will go and witch hunt his government officials, that would be like derailing the peace. So it's a warning, or it's a warning coming that do not do this. If you do this, this is what will happen. So it's a caveat. So for me, I don't consider that as a plea, because a plea will say, no, you can only, if you define the word plead, you can only plead to guilt. Say, I'm sorry, I did this, I'm wrong, I'm sorry, forgive me. But if I tell you, I say, Chima, your check got missing, or you suspect that your check got missing, and you say you'll check my room. But if you check my room, then you're breaking the law, or then you will make me first. So that's not a plea. It's a warning. Do not do this, because if you do this, this will happen.
Let me add some point he said also. The newspaper quoted, this is the newspaper. If you just join you, we are going through a review Liberian daily newspapers. We do that over the weekend from the Monday to Friday. This is the week. This newspaper we're looking through today was published today in the Liberian daily.
Yeah, me that Dakina welcome. Or let me get welcome. Few of our people don't get go ahead. Me that Dakina welcome. Francis Mensah welcome. Dennis Flumo, welcome, and Mr. Emmanuel Boa, welcome.
Yeah, also, we will also appreciate that if you're viewing us, if you had a comment, you always drop your comment. This is
you can drop your comment, we discuss it. We are just giving our opinions.
We put in the story up. This is the story that Liberia, we are pleased for mercy. What do you think about it? Drop your story. We'll read your comments online. What do you think about it? This is what's published by a local newspaper, Daily Observer, today. He said, we are pleased for mercy. It's a question mark. But the question is, he really said, this is why he said, Linfo. I was just going, he said, we must prioritize the welfare of our people and the development of our country. We are set less than hours after conceding defeat to Barca. But he said, by pursuing witch hunts against my officials and me, we risk derailing the peace process. The peace we have worked towards. And going after officials from his government will only hinder the progress made toward achieving lasting peace and stability in the country. But what happened, Linfo, is that, look, if this is why he said, I think he said at his church, when he had a sermon on the Sunday about there was a press release. We don't know what the press release saying, but the Liberty Party, the Unity Party, said that they did not issue any press release about investigating or auditing.
I came across that press release on the internet.
This is the story. Also published by the front page Africa. This is audit all witch hunt. So the press release came out saying that they should audit all government officials from the WIA government, and this is why WIA did not verify whether speak to the president-elect, and it came out. This is a reaction that we should not come after me because I did not come after the government that you served for 12 years. We did not come after you. We left you on your own. So don't come after us. So what does he have to fear if he thinks that his hands and the officials' hands are clean? Why should you be afraid?
But this is where my opinionated argument comes from. That why is he? So it shouldn't be seen as a plea. Letting the people ask whether he's pleading. He's not pleading. He's like challenging. In the first place, he gave a caveat. Do not go after my officials because doing so will do what? Derail the peace that we have fought for or worked for all the years. Okay?
But
so
what will it derail?
Do not do this.
No, Linfo, I got the other side of it. Two things I want to say. I don't think it was too quick to come out with these statements if it was released by Unity Party. But the Unity Party is saying they did not come out with any press release asking for auditing at this time. Probably they'd be thinking about it, but it was so quick. I mean, just after election, it's not even a week yet. You'll be talking about auditing somebody. I mean, I don't think
I will tell you something. Okay. I will tell you something. The Unity Party is just playing safe. And I have followed the internet. I have seen a lot of Unity Party people. Their first priority is to go after WIA and his government. Every day they posting it. Every day. But the Unity Party will not come out and say that as a party. They will play the diplomatic card. But this is the first thing on the agenda. Trust me. This is the first thing. Because, let me tell you. If you see smoke coming from inside the house or the roof of the house, the smoke is inside. There is fire inside the house. That's why the smoke is coming from through the roof. Okay, you and myself who live in Europe where it's cold. You see people burning fire in their house. You see the chimney. You see the smoke coming, all right? You see that smoke coming off or nothing. There is something burning under there. So I am telling you, that's the first priority of this Unity Party government on their people, that they will go after these people. So that's why, but they will not make it public. They will not say as a party, they will not, we're going to go after you. No.
Yeah, but like you said, okay. They denied. They said there was an official statement from the Unity Party.
That's a diplomatic card, they're playing.
Yeah, I think on the other side of it, the Unity Party issued a press release saying that they did not come out any statement saying they will audit or they are witch hunting any government officials of the union. I mean, the CDC government. If they have to do it, they have not made any decision yet. But in any case, so this is scary. I mean, I'm worried. I think if I were in WIA shoes, I would say I'm prepared. My hands are clean. I'm not worried. But don't witch hunt. Are you witch hunting? Because he's kind of begging, don't come after us. If you come after, I'll go after you again. So my hands are dirty. So don't come after me. This is why he's kind of a little bit afraid, isn't it, Linfo?
Yeah, but then I think that's why I said earlier on that they are not. Nobody has accused him of doing anything to, because in fact, the United Party had denied, so then it becomes neutral again. We come out of square one to 0 ground. So we are, as it says, we are not doing anything, and United Party is not going after him. Simple. That's,
don't you think? Okay, this is a question. If you just join or please send all your comment or what you think about the question we have. Right, this is a newspaper clip on the screen as you look. If you just join here, it's about. There was reported today, and there was a press release about from United Party, supposed to be, but we believe it's not United Party, saying that they should audit or investigate the officials of their government, including himself. But then there was he came about saying that they may be witch hunting him, and they shouldn't come after his leadership because he didn't do it to Ali's leadership. So if you have a comment or suggestion, or you have something to say, please drop your comment in our box. Our comment page, we'll read it and we'll see what you think about it.
Let me just remind you of something before we probably go to the next.
Right, go
on. You know, the United Party has become very defensive in recent times, and they always defending what their people say. Just before the last result was announced, the Secretary General of the party. You see the Secretary General, but let me just say the campaign chairman of the party, Mo Ali, accused the ECOWAS of receiving certain amount of money to compromise the election. Okay, whether that came from the party, because this is the campaign manager for the party. Okay, he made a statement. He accused the ECOWAS people of receiving certain amount of money from the government to compromise the election. And then when the people took it up, then the United Party came and denied it. You see, so I'm telling you that these things are discussed within, but when they bring it out and they see it's backfiring, then they try to cover it too. So but in this case, I think we as him might be tired. That's why he may want to fight back. But if his hands were clean, because the 47 condominiums are there. The private jet team there. So I think.
Oh my God! And the money you spent to go 50. How many days you spent? You went to go watch a football game.
For the 8 days.
There's another story of it. Don't you think the Constitution protects we from being prosecuted?
Yeah, but I don't know. Well, I don't know. I think the Constitution, but now the government officials do.
No, but because he's taking most of the burden of it. He's like everybody collecting to give it to him if it is to so. But then what the government is saying, he's being protected. So he's protecting his officials that are involved.
Yeah, but equally so the Constitution can be amended. The legislature can amend that part of the Constitution and say, well, people, because if you still willing it, if you look the country willing it and think that you will be protected, the lawmakers are there. They made a law, they can amend it. But through a referendum, how long? It will take 1 day for that referendum to pass. The people can say, yeah, we agree. So,
right. Just thank you very much. If you just joined us, this is the Bottom Liberia coming to you live from Europe. And this is a European-based platform. We speak Liberia, we talk Liberia, everything Liberia here. We discussing the newspapers.
We love Liberia, we build Liberia.
We are discussing Liberia here, ladies and gentlemen. If you just joined us, wherever you are, this is the Bottom Liberia live from Europe. It's a live stream discussion. My name is Kale Jamal Mohammed, call me Jamal Kamara, and my colleague is Linford, based in Norway. We are discussing, we review Liberian newspaper clips, and we're looking at today's publication. On the screen you're seeing right now is from the front page Africa. We're just discussing President Weah saying, well, we don't hunt us down. We will come after if you do. Anyway, we will move to, and if you have comments on this paper, please drop it in. We'll read it and we'll discuss it. This is where we are. You could also have an issue, let us know. We will move on to another clip, Linford. This is what happened. The other side of the story. We'll go out of politics a little bit and see what happened here. Linford, look at this. What do you think about this? Something good news for us, you think?
Yeah, France opens a visa application center in Monrovia, but that's a good news. And the question is, France, I don't know whether France has an embassy in Liberia. And that the French embassy, yes, it used to be somewhere.
Yeah, they do have the embassy in Liberia those days. I don't know about now, but they should.
Yeah, those days.
Before, yeah,
those days, but I don't know now. But if they say the open visa, application center in Monrovia, that's good. So it means that a lot of Liberians can now travel to France or to Europe transiting through France and stuff like that. And I hope the Norwegians can open their visa office in Liberia too.
Liver, there are some countries that we have difficulty with. You are right about that, because France opening also could lead the way for other European countries to open a visa application center in Liberia. I mean, what happening around here? What do you do more especially? You have to, like France, you have to go to Senegal to get, or Ivory Coast to get French visa, and that's it costs you another money to travel to Ivory Coast or Senegal to obtain a French visa. What do you do here in most European countries? Do you have a center where all the European countries will be represented? You have desk there where you come and do your applications, and we'll send to the embassy. From there, you come back to you. Instead of having embassy, it's costly, it's capital intensive to set up an application like how do you say that? An embassy, if you don't have that kind of interest in that country. So what do? You work with other countries where you, like other European countries, to set up a visa application center. I hope like countries like UK, Scandinavian, was the 27 or 20. How many Europe? I'm not in Milan, Europe anymore. How many of you guys? 27 European countries. I hope you can have about 20 visa centers in Liberia. So Liberia don't have to travel to. If you have to get the UK visa, you need to travel to Sierra Leone, to Freetown to get that. So that's another cost attached. So I think,
but again, I think you just struck a point that I would like to develop on.
Okay. Right.
What interest does France have in Liberia? Compared to some of its colonies, former colonies around Africa or around Liberia for that matter, like Ivory Coast, it's a French colony. Okay, you got, I think, I think that's the nearest around us. Okay, so the rest are all British colonies. You got Senegal, which is British colony. You got Ghana, British colony. You got Gambia, British colony. You got where? Coming down, going to Nigeria.
Sierra Leone as well.
Sierra Leone, British colony. Nigeria, British colony. Benin, French colony, I think. I don't know much about Benin.
No, what I was saying, Linfo, is like, what do you do? You normally have a center where they have each European country.
I agree with you. But the question I'm asking here is, my concern here is, what interest does France actually have in Liberia, or what interest do Liberians have in France? Like, they'll open a visa center there, right? But carry 1,000 French visa and carry 1 American visa and put on the table and say who all want to travel. Maybe because of a hardship, people will go for a French visa. But everybody the 1,000 people will want to go for 1 American visa compared to 1,000 people going for 1,000 French visa. You understand what I mean? Because actually, you are living in Europe. You know that this place is not for us, Liberians. 2 things. You live in the UK, which is much easier, English-speaking country. But take a Liberian guy and put him in France. He didn't even know how to say hello in French. Okay? Take a Liberian guy and put him in Norway. Norwegians speak English, but they will not want to speak English, so you will speak that language. Take a Liberian guy and put him in Lithuania. All this. So, but take a Liberian guy and put him in America. The moment he gets there, the guy is moving. It's like you open the basket for the chicken, the guy is moving already. The first thing you meet, 1 Liberian run away. See, when I came to this country, it took me 4 months to find 3 Liberians. 4 months to find 3 Liberians, at least online. I didn't even know where they were living. Can you imagine? But go to America, every state you'll find 5 minutes time you'll find 10 Liberians. Every state. I was in Minnesota. I went to Minnesota, right to the gas station. I found 4 people. Right to the gas station, get a fake car up. I found 4 people. Of the 4 people, one of them was my workmate, my former workmate. Can you imagine? So if I went to Latvia, and stood in the street, I would not find 1 Liberian. We were in Serbia. I was in Serbia. All Liberians are living here. Not all, but at least 33 of us. We went to Serbia for a wedding. We were in our country. We didn't see 1 Liberian. I went to Serbia. I did not see 1 black man said to ask which country he come from. We were there for 5. I was there 5 days. In fact, I think 1 week ago I went Monday. I came back Monday. 1 complete week. I didn't see any black man. but rather we were the black people there, but our not in the capital though, are not in Belgrade. Well, very big city called Novi Sad for complete 1 week. But we did not see any black men that we could ask. We were the only black people there, and then the people started to ask us, where you guys come from? So, Liberians, I mean, for France, yeah, it's a good thing that they're opening a visa, office. But I think that will serve as a transit point for people who go into other European countries.
Yeah, but one thing I want to let you know, France has been one of the European countries that have been in Liberia for a very long time, culture-wise. If you remember, we had a French Institute in Liberia where it was established, where they were teaching French, and Liberians were encouraged to go into those institutes where the students got paid when it was based in Cinco. And I had one of my good friends was one of the head of that institute.
I know the former French Institute. That was where we had our radio station before. Right near the old German embassy.
Yeah, so and so not only that, the French has been. If you see the first country George Weah visited when he became president, the European country was France. And there are other conditions. After the war, a lot of Liberians went to France. They have sought refuge in France, and there are hundreds of Liberians, got a huge Liberian community in France. Definitely, that gave an opportunity for Liberians to move to France. So we every state in France, you will find Liberian. I mean, every country.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of Liberians in France, like in Holland, where and Belgium, where there are a lot of Liberians there. But the thing is, yeah, like I said, it's a good opportunity. At least people, Liberians traveling to all of European countries will first of all transit into France, and then they can make their way to the other places through that visa office, application center.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. If you just joined, we're just discussing on newspaper from Liberia. We're looking at the France Open Visa Application Center in Monrovia. So we're discussing that's published by the New Dawn newspaper in Liberia today. That was on the 16th or 19th of November. So, Linford, there's another story that's coming up. I want you to talk about the new leadership right now. Look at somebody congratulating them already.
But go, please, if you can go back to that story. I want to see something in that picture. Yeah, I see all the people. They all Caucasians. I don't see anybody look there. They're Liberian. So how? So that the French guys were just toasting and standing. So why is the Liberian representative there?
No, this happened in Monrovia. They went to Monrovia. They want to see that they came to see Monrovia, and they want to.
Yeah, but I think that one of the hosts, one Liberian official should be there at least, or two. One of them
probably could be different picture. This one keeping news, but so we'll find out that as far as we are concerned.
okay. I was just concerned.
All right.
Pictures speak louder than words. This is a pictorial communication.
We'll follow that story later. If you just join what this, we're reviewing the Liberian news, but dailies from Liberia. We're looking at we publish what happened over the week. And if you just join or you got a comment, please share with us. Drop your comment, and we will read it out on this platform. My name is Jamal Kamara. I'm with Linford, I'm based in the UK, Manchester specifically, where I got Linford in Norway. Now, Linford, this is another story. You want to tell me what you see in this picture? Linford?
Well, I see China to support Bwaka's plans. Yes, this is government to government, and like we said before previously, that the UP has been in opposition for 6 years. Unity Party has been in opposition for 6 years, and Bwaka has been making his plans. So maybe he's been to China and he's met the Chinese, or the Chinese have been meeting with him, and everything is set, and they're saying that they're going to support him. That's a good sign. At least one country has stepped forward to say they will support him, unlike the usual America or some of those big countries. But China say, yeah, we'll support you.
Yeah, like Linford, speaking about Chinese, I want to read a story. This is from the newspaper in Liberia, published today. It says 21st of November, says the Chinese ambassador accredited near Monrovia has pledged his country's support to the arrest. That's the platform they bring in, the arrest. ARREST. That is the word the president-elect is taking. I don't know, we define what the arrest to mean. So there's an arrest platform of incoming Unity Party-led government. Arrest honor the Barker Cone administration is the representation. What is the arrest stand for? Is the agriculture, rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. That's why arrest stand for. So the arrest platform So its government is pledging their support to the newly elected leadership that will support them on the platform of the arrest. Arrest means ARREST. They will be looking at agriculture. That's A. The second first R is roads. The first R is road. The second R is rule of law, and the E is education, and the S is sanitations, and the T is tourism. So Baka is taking, the leadership is taking arrest platform to help build Liberia. So the Chinese government has come to pledge support to supporting and make that arrest a reality. There was the Chinese ambassador near Monrovia make a courtesy call on the president-elect. So if you see in the picture, if shaking hand, telling we with you, we support you on the arrest platform. That was published by the newspaper in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me something about you want to say something about?
I think that's a good news for the new government, and we hope other countries will step in. And if you look at China's role in Africa in recent years, the Chinese have been doing everything possible to help Africa and to make their presence felt on the ground. In fact, we speak of the AU. It used to be OAU, but now it's AU, the equivalence of the European Union, EU, and the equivalence of I think the United States of America, the USA. That all African countries are under the African Union. And if you look at that, their headquarters in Kenya was constructed by the Chinese. Zero penny from Africa is not in that building. And everything, the furniture, even the staff that worked there, all was taken care of the Chinese, taken care of by the Chinese, so to speak. So China has been making its presence felt on the grounds in Africa, and I think this is one step towards that same program to tell the other countries that okay, we can help any country in Africa. So Liberia is going to benefit from the Chinese. Let's see how much they're going to do. Or they've been there though. I remember the Chinese had a clinic, right down Congo Town, and the Chinese have that embassy, of course, in Liberia for ever and ever. But the question here is, I hope the two-channel policy will not play in here, because this is one thing that will always come. This is the thing that always comes in when when one of the channels lean towards Liberia. I remember that also happened during the Taylor administration. Okay, so
where you see Taiwan get involved with me, where Taiwan will be the first to come to say, well, we want the Chinese to be the first to come
it's very tempting, because like right now we need development. So the mainland China say, okay, we can't build, then the Taiwanese can say, oh, listen, man, we're going to build a brand new airport. In fact, we'll open we let our flight and come here. So what do you do if you need it? And we are craving for development. So, I will hope the two-channel policy will not come in. And, the moment the two-channel policy comes in, then Uncle Sentu start babbling,
This take me to some history of the SKD stadium were built by the Taiwanese, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what happened when China's declared, another government came to power? It was I think they started working with Chinese government. The Taiwanese withdrew their support for Liberia. We would notice that the scoreboard was removed. The technology involved in the scoreboard at the time could not work at the time. So what happened when the Chinese will be the mainland China will be the first to declare their pledge of support to the government before Taiwan come in. So before Taiwan comes in, the mainland China has declared their support. So now you can see the Chinese government less than a week. Ambassador of China, mainland China has declared their support for the leadership.
And this is my concern. Because it's going to be like, no, listen.
But the offer on the table. What offer they'll be bringing?
The Taiwanese will wait first. The Taiwanese will wait to see how much mainland is trying to do. Then they will come and redouble what mainland wants to do. And then by the time it happens, for Liberia, I don't know about other African countries or other countries around the world, but in the case of Liberia, the struggle is not actually between the two channels. Okay, the struggle is between the two channels in America, or the country that the two channels want to help. Because what happens here is that Liberia will not say no to the mainland China if they come with any good development package, and will not also say no to the Taiwanese. But then Uncle
we are
say
we are the receiving end, so we are like,
we agree. But then Uncle said, who we say that our traditional father, our grandfather, he just said that he probably boom, then he's scratching eyebrows. Say, oh, why you want to? So then again, given our relationship with our, so we act like as a country, we I don't have to take a strong decision, but again, the question is how dependable will be on the Chinese, whether mainland or Taiwanese, and the Taiwanese and the Chinese cannot go further too. So if two of them come and competing, and we say, okay, we're taking two of you, we'll forget about our traditional grandfather. Then can one of them drop us, or in fact, two of them drop us, then we will go again. So we are always cautious in between there. So then we let our grandfather decide the case, say, hey, if you go to the Taiwanese, then we'll move from behind you. So stay with the mainland, or so they decide.
Therefore, I think, thank you very much. You got a lot of newspaper clip to go through because you don't have that much time. So we will like kind of skim through and see what we can take off for our summer. In any case, if you just join us, this is the bottom of Liberia. My name is Jamal Kamara with Link for Ego and Goe in Norway. We are going through the Liberian daily newspapers and making our comments and giving our own perspective. If you just join us, we will also like to hear from you. Drop your comment and let's see what you got so we can read it on here. This is the European-based platform. And also, if you have something to share with us as Liberian in the diaspora, please, you are welcome. You're always welcome to join us. We discuss it. Linford, we're going to go to, this is a guy that you know, one of the politicians. This is what he did. So what do you think about this?
Well, he says, congratulations to President Weah for his historic concession speech. Okay. Yeah, the man you see on the screen there is Councilor Tiawan Gonglo. We are kind of related traditionally, and I have very high respect for him. In fact, he's one of my mentors, especially educationally. He's one of my mentors, and in fact, even character-wise, he's one of my mentors. I will always want to emulate his good examples. When I was growing up, he's an elderly brother, although my nephew. So my nephew, even as young as I am, I still have some power over him. I can wield some power over him, being a nephew traditionally. But when it comes to normal life, I have tremendous respect for him. I see him as my mentor because I learned a lot. This is the man who first explained the solar system to me, even though I learned it in school. But this is the man who first drew the diagram on the ground in my town, on the ground, on the floor, with his finger, and he told a lot of us what to do. How to understand it. So I know I have a lot of respect for him. But he's also a lawyer, a legal luminary. So if he participated in the elections, he did not win, but he was one of those that pledged his support to the Unity Party government, and then the Unity Party rather, not government. The Unity Party won. Now they are going to be government. And so I think his congratulations to President Weah, I think, comes from the point that President Weah, as he describes the history, President Weah did the best thing not to even challenge the results, even though he could choose to challenge it, but that would be a waste of time, though, because the results clearly show that he did not win. But most incumbents around Africa will want to challenge the results and then go further, just to delay the process and make the country, drag into a lot of confusion. And so President Weah set history by agreeing. Say, okay, yeah, you don't want me, I agree. Okay, even though
let me hold you there. In a sense, like just anyone who watching or listening to us, please join us. Send us your comment. Our page. We're on we're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Drop all your comments. This we're reading the newspaper review. I want to hold you back, looking forward with regard to the historic concession speech. Somebody could argue that the President Weah has no other options. It was glaring. It was obvious that he has no chance to argue this. So it's like he has to raise his hand up and start arguing a fight that he will not win. So if you say that, okay, yeah, he did an honorable thing to raise his hand, I've conceded. But Paul knew that he was already defeated. First round,
Yeah.
So somebody was saying that he was just trying to save his face.
But I can also say this. Under the penal code of law, there is this saying that a man is not guilty unless found guilty. Unless
do you agree with the argument that he was saving his face because he was at the losing end?
No, I can't say that. I can't say that already. But what I will tell you is that it was also in as much, not because you saw me in your room and you saw and I take all your share wearing it, then you grab me and say I'm guilty. No, carry me to court. So President Wiak could say, okay, you say I lost the election, I'll go to court. You can't prove me wrong. You'll bring all your evidence. And that would drag the process on. I think this is from that point that everybody is praising President Wiak that he did the right thing. Because he could do it. He could say, yeah, I'm going to court. So who was stopping? Nobody, the Constitution will not say stopping. I mean, they will not stop and say, look at it. So no, they will go to court and go prove it there.
You make your point, sir. Thank you very much. And this is why he said after that, he said, this is why we have vows of robust opposition. What do you think about it? Is he going to come back in 2029? He will bring that government down. What do you think? Does he have a chance?
Yeah, but again, being in robust opposition doesn't mean that he will succeed in 2029. But remember that somewhere I was reading and somebody wrote this comment and said the CDC is good in opposition than in governing. For them to govern is difficult for them, but to be in opposition, I think so far as I've seen all through my life.
No. Let me see something. That was their first time. They were first time having leadership. How would you see who would say that? I don't want to understand it because explain that to me in clear sense. Somebody is saying that they're good in opposition, they in government. Now there was a first time of leadership. First he says yes. There was a test of time for them.
Listen. You should also know that the leadership is not a place for test and trial. So before you want to become a leader, you can't say, well, I'm just going to try my luck if I'll do well. You should. That's why politicians who want to hold high office should have, or must have, not even should, but must have platforms that they are running on, that they must lay out clearly what they want to do, what they think the country needs, what the people need. You see? So you can't say, well, if you let me, I'm just going to go try. If I want to build one piece of road for you other day, or if I can, bring the prices down. No, you can go do test and trial. So I think whether it was, imagine they were in opposition also for 12 years. So they should have had, in fact, they ran for those 12 years. They ran 2 times in those 12 years and they didn't win. So they would have all of their things in place. In fact, they came with a very good platform called PAPD. Okay? So I don't think they just went there and say, okay, this is our first time, let's go try. They were government in waiting. Every strong opposition is a government in waiting. Anytime you can win.
So the argument of being good in opposition can't hold, because if they were for 12 years, they should prepare their house very well and run a better government instead of coming and fail.
But the argument about them being good in opposition is that they know how to hold the ruling party to account. They know how to pressure the ruling party. They check the ruling party. They hold their feet to the fire. They keep them busy all the time.
What will they do when their performance was dismal the first 6 years, and he coming back robust opposition? What can they do to use as a
but that also does not affect their being in the opposition. Now listen, it's simple. It's very easy to be in opposition than to rule. I will tell you the reason why. The reason is that it's like you're not a driver, right? You're sitting in the car, then the driver driving. You say, oh, my man, how you running fast? So? But why you can't run fast? Why you can't checking brake? How you bending the car? So, everything the driver does will comment on it. See? But when they say, okay, my man, you talking plenty, you can't sit there and I can't drive the car. Then you sit in the car and you see why the man bending the car like that. Because they wait in the car. Or maybe the steering, the tires are not allowing well. So when you bend it can be squeaking or something. But once you're not there, you think that you know it better. So whether you can perform better or not, you are being in opposition. You see all the odds. You see all the bad things. So you know how to speak about it. But then when you get there, you do not. So that analogy that CDC is good in opposition than in ruling, I think I want to subscribe to it, because I know as opposition, they see everything. They know how to jump. In fact, this is a party that demonstrated, I think, 180 some more times in 12 years' time. Can you imagine?
Right. All right. Thank you very much, Linford. I want to move on to, let's see what happened when Georgia come back for 2029. Where he make it, the chance would be like, let's see where he's going to break in. Probably he's going to learn a lot after 6 years to come back and take over. Let's see what the Liberian will give him the chance to come back in and get re-elected. It almost, Linford, it reminds me of the story of Donald Trump. One-time president, a best dancer, a comedian, a booker dancer, and coming back again and want to come. You think you have a chance? Like I think the.
Well,
if you look at
I want to doubt. Even if the United Party will perform dismally in this coming 6 years, I don't think the CDC will be a good replacement. But again,
so Liberian will not give it a chance. You think so? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, give me the time and that opportunity to make a disclaimer. Let me be very cautious. I cannot speak for the Liberian people. These are people that are very, very much unpredictable. You will see these people voting for George. We are in 2029 saying, oh, we want to give you the second chance because the first time you didn't know what to do, you know what to do now. So these people, let me tell you, this particular just in the election had taught me a lot about Liberian voters. And I was taught that lesson from 2017. In fact, from 1997, when they said you came up, I'll vote for you. Why are they talking? They are part a man who died, who they talking about the boom, they say laying down on the ground. Physically, they can see the boom, but they say we'll vote for you. Then they came back 2017 and said, you know, Bo, you not know, Bo, we'll vote for you. Okay? And then when they say you not say you owe, whether you say that which year, we'll vote for you. So these people, you can't trust them. So they might just come back in 2029 and say, oh, we made a mistake. We thought that you didn't know the job, but now say you've been there before you get experience. Now remember that these people will award you the presidency because they say you have experience. You have been president before, or you have been vice president before. So they will say, well, oh, Joe Biden was just vice president, we made him president. How about Joe? We are all president. We'll go for him for the second time. So I can't already say, you can't already rule out we are in 2029 if he wants to come back.
Right. If it's just joining, this is the Bottom Liberia coming to you live from Europe, our European business platform. My name is Jamal Kamara. We're living for Goa in Sweden. We're looking at the Liberian newspapers right here. If you just see on the screen, if you just join us, look at us. If you just join us, you can drop your comment. We are Vows Robust Opposition. That's why published by the newspaper. That's the Liberian Daily newspaper. It was published today, 21st of November 2023. We just review Liberian dailies to see what we think, give our own personal perspective on the issues. So if you are just joining us, you can drop your line. If you like, you drop your comments or your suggestions. Linford, will you move on to this story published by the newspaper also? Liberian guest star post at UNESCO. This is a Go Vade Belie, British Liberia manager, is a British Liberia managing director, has been unanimously elected to represent Liberia as the chairman or president of the Education Commission on UNESCO. So he will be there. He will be for Liberia. Also selected to the high level steering committee to Sustainable Development Goal for Education 2030 for the next 2 years. A position that he will hold. He will be there up to 2028. He will be the head of this particular area for 2 years. This is a very. What do you think? Is it good news for Liberia, or because
it's a good news for Liberia? And let me tell you, UNESCO is part of the United Nations system. I think that's the UN, United Nations Educational and Scientific Cultural Organization, UNESCO, if I'm not mistaken, and it's one of the viable and most important functions of the United Nations, functionaries of the United Nations. This has to do with education and scientific and cultural. Okay, so Liberia getting a top position on it, and this is universal. All countries that are part of the UN are part of this particular group. So I think it's a boost for Liberia. And again, if we go back to history, Liberia is not, this is not strange for Liberia. Liberia has held several type of positions at the UN, in almost every branch of the UN. Remember that Angie Brooks Rana was the first female secretary. Was it Secretary General of the UN or something?
First President of the Assembly.
Yeah, the General Assembly. Yeah, the General Assembly of the UN. Okay, and then besides that, we have had several people, holding top positions at the UN. So I don't think this will be the last time, but we want to applaud the gentleman. I think he looks smart, and we hope he can ably represent Liberia at the United Nations, especially at the UNESCO.
Yeah, he will, for the next 2 years, he will work with member states to develop a robust plan for education in emergencies. Liberia, as a resilient nation, has endured civil conflict, and this will be his legacy project. So you'll be there for 2 years. You'll be responsible to come up with a robust plan.
And I think what Liberians should be hoping for is that during his tenure, he can try to actually seek the interest of Liberia, looking at what Liberia has gone through and looking at what Liberia needs, especially educationally, and when it comes to culture and education. Scientific, yes, Liberia needs to improve, but we are not there yet. But what we need to first of all do is develop or strengthen our educational capacity, and then move on to the cultural part, where we can have things like cultural attraction, where we can have tourists coming to our country, and through that, then we can move step by step. So I hope that he's going to place Liberia high on the agenda while trying to work with other countries, to create an agenda for education and other things for countries or member countries around the world of the UNESCO.
Right. A little bit of a background on this young man on the screen right now. Yeah, he's a managing director of Bridge Liberia, the Liberian government's largest educational partner in the Liberian Educational Advancement Program. That's LEAP, L-E-A-P. His new portfolio will not only rally support to provide opportunities for the development of young and middle-level professionals, it will also support initiatives that will support education from the grassroots, an initiative that Bridge Liberia is partnering with Liberian government through the Ministry of Education to achieve for Liberia children. This is reported by the newspaper in Liberia. Today, it was published on the 21st of November 2023. A little bit of what Bridge is all about. So Bridge Liberia support over 300 government schools in all of the Liberia 15 counties, including communities in a remote part of the country. Teachers at these schools are well trained in teaching principles, techniques, and technological skills that the contemporary teacher needs for the effective delivery of learning materials in the classroom. Therefore, that's about good news for Liberia. I think we kind of drilling down to where we stand as a country. Therefore, there was something we want to take you down. This is not a very good news for Liberia. I think you haven't. This is what happened, I think, yesterday. I want you to tell me what you know about this story, Linfo.
Well, I woke up this morning. I woke up late this morning. By the way, I started my leave from job last Friday, and it's going to be 6 weeks. So I'll be going to work on the 2nd of January. So I'm going to be home doing crazy things, and so I slept late. And when I woke up, all I could see was, "Oh, may their soul rest in peace." Oh, that was devilish, and the most cantankerous man in the country now, Henry Costa, even condemned the act and made a comment, and then people were all on him that he knows he's part of it. And so I got interested. I said, "But what's happening?" So I read the story. I didn't see the story, but I started following the posts and the responses. Then I got to know that a car ran into a jubilant crowd at the Unity Party headquarters, people who are going there to jubilate. But again, when you read the various comments and responses, you get confused. Some people are saying that this was premeditated, it's a terroristic act, and some people are saying that it was an accident. So I think there is an ongoing investigation into it, and I think after the investigation, we'll actually get to know whether it was a terrorist activity, or it was an accident, or it was something premeditated. Because the United Party headquarters, I think, is on Broad Street somewhere there. up the hill. I don't think there is anywhere that any car can come with such a speed. I'm not preempting what the investigation might come up with, but I want to believe that this could be premeditated, because if where they are describing the United Party headquarters to be somewhere up the hill, they're coming from Dugo Party, somewhere around there, I don't think any car should be coming with very heavy speed that will run into a crowd of people you see visibly. You must either have a defective car, or it must be something that you meant to do. You know, around Europe here, a couple of years ago, we saw people using cars as terrorist instrument, you know, to run into crowds and stuff like that. So these are all normal, and
that's true.
I mean, it's not normal. It's not normal, but these are things that can happen. I'm sorry for using that word normal. Something that is normal is something that is accepted. But these are things that can happen. People can use things like cars as weapons, you know, to do what their bad thing they want to do. So people use airplane to take down the World Trade Center and stuff like that. But what I do know about this story, or I've heard, or I've read, is that a car ran into a crowd that was jubilating the victory of United Party at their headquarters, and I think 4 or 5 people dead, and
but
several
10 death so far.
Yeah, you see the death toll is rising. So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Go on.
So I think it's very disheartening. I think it's barbaric. It's an act of terrorism for me. I mean, that's why we do want to show you and give our opinion. I don't think for any reason, if at all somebody was disgruntled and wanted to do this thing, you shouldn't do this. These people, they slept at their houses. They came out knowing that they're going to the party headquarters to go celebrate. You don't know them. They could just be your best friend. You and they had not had any quarrel, and then you drive a car into them, a crowd. I mean, you take people by surprise and you kill them like that. And those are people who, okay, the people who died, they have died, but what are the people who will get wounded badly and forever? They'll look at that man and remember it for nothing. So I think I condemn it for the bottom line Liberia, and I know that you will do the same. But again, let me just give this to Liberians that no, there is nothing worth dying for, and there's nothing worth killing another person for. These people you see celebrating, some of them will not even enjoy anything in the government. And you who taking car to go kill somebody, you may not have even enjoyed the government. Even if you're working, it is your right to work. So it didn't mean that you are better than these people. So for me, I don't understand why somebody want to do this. Jima, I'm out of work.
Yeah, I think we absolutely we condemn what happened, and if it was an accident, we also wish well for those. I mean, it shouldn't have happened, but this is why a lot of questions come up. And according to the eyewitnesses from this story reported by a newspaper in Liberia, says the guys deliberately ran into, according to what they said, deliberately ran into them, opened the doors, and after they jumped onto the motorbike and escaped. The driver did that, and they came with doors open. So it gave a lot of you get a lot of thoughts of what's going on here. Somebody deliberately did this to us. Why will you kill people? I mean, they're celebrating after went to the party headquarters, ran into the party members, people jubilate. These are Liberians. Whatever you like, it's about Liberia. I mean, this is whatever you like. They are jubilating for Liberia, not for family members, for Liberia as a country. And if you have done it deliberately, it should be condemned. It should be arrested. It should be thoroughly investigated and found those culprits and bring them to justice. And if you see there's a burning car here, the story said that after the car ran into them and the driver escaped, what they did, the people that were around there, they put the car on fire. They kind of put the car on fire. So this is the car, you can see the blazing car right there now on fire. It's the car that ran into the people that were jubilating and killed about 10 people, and wounded more than 20 people in the hospital. It's a horrific scene. It's tragic. It's not something that we should be talking about. It's a sad story. Our hearts from borderline heart goes to all members of the family that have been affected in this, especially to those who died, the bereaved family. Our hearts out to them. We wish you well. We'll keep you in our prayers and our thoughts. And this should not be encouraged. Should be condemned. It should be thoroughly investigated, and those responsible should be brought to book before.
And again, there is another side of the story. When I saw the car blazing, then I got concerned. I mean, even though the guy ran into the crowd, killed people, something very horrific. But then why did they burn the car? Because you should have taken that car to trace the owner. But you burn the car, you destroy everything.
Yeah, that's the evidence, the temporal evidence right there. That's the how to
So
find
how are you going to find it? Probably some people took a picture of the car, but again, the law is crazy. We have a lawyer here watching us. I think he will know that the people can go defend themselves and say, even if you show picture that he took from this car before burning it, people can say, no, it's not my car. Where's the car? You go bring a car.
No, but Linford, there's another thing to add to what you're saying. There should be some, there was some kind of physical evidence could be in a car. If the investigator will have found out what was the reason of that car.
Okay, the documents bearing the name of the owner.
There may have been some note in that car, Linford, that kind of note written. If it was something done deliberately, there will be a note in that car that says what they were intending to do. And other things could be found in that car that will relate to, they'll give a clue to the investigator to find out what was the reason behind the accident. If there was an accident, what we heard was the car is an old car and they lost control and they were running into the crowd. And that was another side of the story. Other people say this was done deliberately. So, but if the evidence is burned, one of the major evidence, physical evidence we had right was the car that was involved into the crash, that crashed into the wrong people. And this you put that one, you put that one on fire. You set it ablaze. So how we this evidence is we burn the evidence, temper with evidence. So this could help into the investigation. But in any case, we wish the culprit will be found, the driver can be arrested and investigate and know what was the reason. And if it was accident, well, we wish well for them and we hope those who are injured to also receive a proper medical care. And the government should help them out and make sure those people receive proper medical care. And the sad thing, Linfo, we have a serious healthcare delivery problem. So where will you take these people? Most of these people will be, if you're not from a well-to-do family with good money, you got to be travel out of the country for treatment. And most of the people will be left in the hospital and nobody look after them. I hope they will help the government led under Honorable Joe Barker and we all those involved. You ask the government to support them, make sure those who got injured or those who suffer the casualties, family members, you able to receive some support and make sure they go through this difficult period. Help them to go through the difficult period.
And talking about the car itself, the thing is right now nobody knows who the driver is, but and we cannot confirm anything or deny anything. I was reading somewhere again, like I said, all of my information I got it from the internet. So I was reading somewhere again where they posted a picture of a guy standing by one red car. Okay, and he was in a full military uniform, but wearing a CDC beret. So somebody said he was the driver of the car. So it's difficult. And again, like we said, destroying this car will tamper with evidence and it might even give investigation tough time to find out anything. So how will they find, how the picture that we see of this guy, on Facebook, or on social media, how did they know that he was the one? Did they arrest him or So it's a lot of things. But again, like you said, we pray for the victims, those ones that are still alive, and we also side for those ones that are lost their lives, and their families. We console them, we identify with them, and like I said, there is nothing worth killing anybody for, and there is nothing worth dying for. No, some of you will not even see the mansion where these people will go to sit down. So why you kill yourself, or why you kill somebody for that? If George Weah would take car and go driving to a crowd, would say, "Oh, he's losing because he's losing his fabulous lifestyle and enjoyment. That's why he's doing that." But you one day, back from way down, you never even buy from that mansion. You go take car and kill people simply because maybe something you're not satisfied with election or something. That's for nothing.
It is really, really sad. It is sad that if you look at it, probably there's a chance that the person who use a car, if it's done deliberately, may even kill some of his own relatives or her own relatives. Yes. And I don't care what you do. Somebody in our crowd that you're related to, you've killed. Even you could not be
your friend's friend.
Yeah, and it didn't go anywhere, straight into the crowd, according to the eyewitness report from the newspaper report, saying they did this, got into a motorbike and ran away. So there was a waiting motorbike, and there was a person who was there. The waiting motorbike was there. When he ran to the car, hit people. 10 guy instantly got killed on the spot. Got wounded. Some died. 10, eventually death toll right now is 10 deaths so far, and more than 20 people injured, severely injured, some are critical condition. And this is sad. At the time, right after the election, when we are celebrating victory for Liberia, then you got people will be mourning for their loved ones that got killed in something that was just to celebrate. Went home, leave their home saying we're going to celebrate our victory, the country's victory. Then you got hit by death news. You got hit by death news.
Well, that's it.
So our heart goes out to all our heart. Yeah.
The mindset of our people will go beyond this. That politics is not about hatred. Politics is not about. No, let me tell you, politics is not like you put the block somewhere and you plaster with the concrete that you can't move. Today, somebody can be United Party member. Tomorrow, there will be different party member, and after they may come back. So, who do you say the people who supporting United Party or the people who did not support United Party yesterday cannot come back and support United Party today, or vice versa for all other parties? But again, our mindset is I don't know. But let's move forward.
Yeah, with less than 10 minutes to go, Linfo, if you just joining us, this is the Bottom Liberia, a European-based platform, diaspora Liberian-based platform. We discuss issues from Liberia, trending issues of Liberia and Liberians in the diaspora. If you have issues you want to share with us, please, you're welcome. We got always on the Facebook, also to ask a way of information. We are also online on the radio. You can always download our apps from the various app stores, either from the Google app stores as well as the Android. Both. If you're using iPhone and also Android, you can always go on and download our apps. We are there. We also bring you major news from Liberia. This is basically about Liberia. More especially, this platform is Liberian based in Europe. And if anywhere, you're welcome to share with us. Share your comment. If you have anything to share with us on our platform. We don't belong to any party. We just speak Liberia right here. This is where we are. Linfo, I know we got less than 10 minutes to go. So we will be looking quickly at this story. I think you want to tell me you were doing something about it. This is what happening now in Liberia. This is not politics. This is Liberia. Lone Staff falls to defeat at World Cup qualifiers. What is it, Linfo? You watch this game. What happened?
I watched a game. Yes, I watched the second half of the game. In fact, I carried a live on Bottom Line Liberia the second half, and Liberia lost by 1 goal. It was a goal scored by Ogako, Emilio Nsu, and that was what was this team? I just forgot the name of this team. It was team of mine. But if you had the people that you could read it, but I think, but few weeks ago, Liberia lost to Malawi, and then. Yesterday we lost to this team. It just in my mind.
Yeah, go on. I'll get it straight for you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
go on.
But the name of the guy who actually scored a goal, I remember the name, but I forgot the team's name. And the guy's name is Emilio Nsu. He scored the first goal in the 9th minute. But at that time, I was not broadcasting the game. But I started the broadcast during the second half. Liberia did play though. They had a couple of chances that were not utilized properly. And so we lost again. Lone Star will always do well, and again we have done well. But I think we are out. We are out of this group now. We are out of this league. So I think they will always say like we're going to hang our jerseys until the next. But Lone Star did well. They played seriously. They played. Not that the other team played better than them. They played, but it was just their opportunity to win. Both teams play below standard, and it reminded me. I was even making joke during the live commentary that when I was playing for my community team here in our country league here, I think our team could be Lone Star at that time because both teams were playing actually below standard. And what surprises me is that most of these players that play for teams like Lone Star, and even the team that they play against. When they play at home, they are doing well on practice ground. But when they play outside, probably there is something that hinders their ability to perform properly. So I think the coaches will have to do better. If you watch the game yesterday, you see that at the top they have only one guy for Lone Star. So he was marked by 2 people. The rest of the players were down. So I think they were playing a 5-4-1 formation. 5-4-1 formation, which I've never seen functioning. You got one person at the top being marked by 2 people plus a goalkeeper. Then you got the rest of the people way down, simply to defend.
Right. Okay. Just quickly, there was like yesterday was a game between Equatorial Guinea and Liberia.
Yeah, it was Equatorial Guinea. Yeah,
and the score was scored by a guy called Unsu Lopez, number 9 for Equatorial Guinea. And we don't have that much time again. I think I got one more story to take before you go. We'll have to discuss this about this qualifier. I think what I've also been reading about is that the fans are calling for the Ansu Keita to be dismissed because the Liberia have no more chance. So they say they're calling for a dismissal. What do you think about it? Give me a 2-minute comment on that before we move on to the next news.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they feel that the coach is not doing well, they can dismiss him. But again, I believe that the coach can do the best they want to do. But if the players are not, doing their best also. So if you dismiss the player, the coach, you might just be willing to dismiss the players as well if they're not doing what the coach says. So they say, traditionally, our people get some kind of parable. They say the team that cannot claim, even if you put it on a double ply ladder, it will not claim.
Right, Linfo got 4 minutes before go home. I think I got a last story for us. That has to do with one of our legendary folk Liberian musical legendary luminary who's lit now. We will take you home with his song, and we'll talk a little bit about who he was and what he did for Liberia for over the years. Linfo, what you got for us?
Okay, let me see what we got here.
This is we're talking about Professor Jones Dopo, is it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, let's talk a little bit before he plays music. Let's talk about what he was. Professor Jones Dopo was a Liberian renowned musical luminary. He's late. He died at the age of 87. He was born in Zoget District. This is a background information gotten from the Daily Observer newspaper, published yesterday. He was born in a town called Duompe, a village outside from Zoget District. That's one of not far from Ban, and I grew up in a town called Duompe, where my dad was there for over the years. So I kind of know who he was, and I was very familiar with his music. I used to like him very much, and I just got the deaf news. I was really, really sad about it. But anyway, about this.
Can you just take down our football? Can you just take down our football?
Sorry. This is talk about. Yeah. So before you go on to play his music, let's talk about who he was. And I'm going to story of there's a little bit of obituary written by Adela Zera about him. I'm going to read that quite clear. It say, Professor Jones Dopo, the musical icon celebrated for timeless hits like Sweet, Sweet Cassava Leaf, has died at the age of 87. His death comes as a judgment shy of 88th birthday, leaving behind legacy that transcends a generation through the prosperous tapestry of music. According to Dopo's family, the musical luminary died peacefully at a medical center in Saxby, PA, Neighbor County, after a prolonged period of illness. The family emphasized that the late Dopo served as probably the last guardian of traditional folklore music, which was hysterical but educative. Uncle Jones was more than a musician. He was a guardian of traditional folklore music. The family stated his music will remain a bridge connecting generations, a timeless legacy that will continue to inspire and resonate with the soul of Liberia. As a family, we are grateful for the outpouring of love and support during the difficult time. Professor Dopo's influence extends beyond the boundaries of our family, reaching into the hearts of all those who have been touched by his music. His impact on Liberia's cultural landscape is immeasurable, and his memory will endure through the tones he gifted to the word, the family ahead. Dopo's repertoire includes his hit songs like Sweet, Sweet Cassava Leaf, the noteworthy satirical educational piece, Mama, I Want to Go to School, and If You Marry, among others. Linfa, there's a lot to say about this legend, but let me leave you because we don't have much to say. I know I'll give you the last minute to talk about, and you let you take us home with this.
And later did I get to know? I remember Dopo's songs way back. I remember in the 70s, around 75, 78 up to 1980 or so, they used to have this APC record store sponsoring the 12:30. We used to wear 12:30 music. You know, we were in junior high school at the time. So when we hear the 12:30 music, it means that it's 12:30 now, time to go home. And all radios to play. You know, it was sponsored by ABC record store from Downwater South. So all the ERBC to play every 12:30 to 1 o'clock. They'll play that.
Liberian songs. Liberian songs is all Liberian folklore, something like that.
Yeah, Liberian folklore song. For example,
something like Aaron Vanja Riches were doing it. Something like that. Aaron Vanja Riches.
I think it was Aaron Vanja Riches. And it was,
I think so. I do remember. He was a Liberian folklore.
Songs like from Murray Dolly. Everybody knows always a man, and then Dean Dubo, if you marry, you know.
Liberian is my home. Liberian is my home. Yeah, that's correct. I remember that.
But there was this other woman too, Ome Hante Como from Maryland County. What you say? When men say, I know Mary say, when men attire, when men say, I'm not attire.
Oh yeah, there were songs. So a lot of songs there. Yeah,
those are songs that reminded us of during the days. But eventually, nobody lives forever, or the woman has left us, and want to wish his family our saddest condolences, and we hope that they will take heart. The woman lived. I mean, not many people that live up to even 50, but he was 87. Yeah.
Linford, quickly, why do you call him professor? According to the story behind it, he said a late musician lives to more than 19 living children, including 4 born to a Ghanaian woman currently residing in Ghana, as well as numerous family members. He was also an academic who taught at the University of Liberia, Cotton University, and the African Medicine Episcopal University.
Wow.
So he
wasn't just kind of musician.
He was an academician. So he went to school. He learned English. He taught at the various universities, and he was that's why I call him Professor Jones Dopo, a legendary Liberian musician. So take us home. Tell them what one of the best hits, a classic that make history in Liberia right now.
Yeah, I think this is the most timeless one, the one that almost everybody like. And Sweet Kassawa Lee. Every time I see this old man dancing, I used to think that when they say professor, I say, but how they call it old man professor? But you see again, this is Liberia, and trust me, some of the people that this old man taught, some of them are big people today. But this old man, he lived this kind of life. But let's pay.
We kind of celebrate. We're going to celebrate his passing. I knew it's a sad story, but he lived his life 87 years, almost to his 88th year when he passed. So we say heart out to him for the contribution he made to music and to education in Liberia. For wishing well, we wish the old man a perpetual resting place.
Sweet Kisavalio, Napaku Eloya. Sweet Kisavalio, Napaku Elon. You take it from Peter today, Paul will take it from you tomorrow, Mama. Sweet, living is sweet, where the rich or poor. Why not pray for long fellow? He can pray for long life. As long as they live, the better we grow. Power is found. It can make you heavy. It's just like a brook, a way to capsize. Sweet kids, our liver. No go alone. You want me can eat it, or if you can eat it. Kesawali, oh, sweet Kesawali, oh, no go alone. You take it from Peter today, or Paul will take it from you tomorrow, Mama. You take it from me today, oh, Mother will take it from you tomorrow. Fine, may your fuel. Well, people do to you, you go to cry. Had enough for one person, It's a matter of time. Our time is a lesson, yeah. Rather this ahead. Sweet is our liver. Not for go alone, mama. Human being can eat it.
Well, I'm sorry. I almost, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not that strong when it comes to these things, too. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
It is.
folks.
I mean, we need to celebrate his legendary Linford. It's difficult to see him. I grew up seeing him. Like I said, Linford. I know we don't have much time now. It's a very emotional, and what we need to do is to celebrate his musical legendary in Liberia. One of the songs that we will play that is very popular from those with low age. We'll take our home with the song called "If You Marry." I think we play at the start of the show.
We play at the start of the show.
Uncle
But
Jones
again, I just
What do you think?
I just want to make comment on most of what he said in Sweet Kasawali. And this should serve as reminder for us that Kasawali not for good alone, meaning there is nothing in this world that you think you alone can own. And you also mentioned power. Power not for
can make you heavy.
It can make you heavy. Then it's like crew kino, equate to capsa. When you have it today, you think, oh no, I'm the best person. And if I go back to the CDC government, I'm not trying to mock them, but from 2017, when this first started, up to 2018, they thought, that this day would not come. That where I saw problem with the CDC government was when President Weah was going to the slums to go campaign, something he didn't do in 2017. Then I knew that there was something not right with the CDC. And finally, they lost the election. So power can make you heavy. And prior to that, a few days ago, I saw Jefferson Kweji, before the final result was even announced, the power was giving some kind of speech. I think it was last Friday. He was giving some kind of speech, or Thursday or something, one of those days. And he was sweating profusely. He was angry. And, then I got to know this is not a Jefferson Kweji that used to sit down and speak those false terminologies. So power can make you heavy.
Don't exist in any dictionary.
Yeah, power can be heavy, but when they take it from you, you become nobody. It's like a crew kino. You inside 1 minute, then it capsize. When it capsize, you get control. You got to swim for your life. So, yeah. And the old man said that, when other people do things to you, you cry. But remember that if you cry, the same thing can also happen to them. So, I just my heart is off to the family, and like I said, I'm not strong in these things, so sorry folks, if you see me weeping, I'm not strong. So Jima, I'll let you play that music and then we can take us home. Thanks for watching, and we hope we'll be here on Friday.
It's 2-hour section, and we may be having a guest Friday. We'll let you know, but it was a good 2-hour section in Linford. It's always good to go through what's happening in Liberia. This is why we are here. And now closing this today's show with legend Jones Dopo is a big thing for us. I think I do share with you. I understand your emotions right here. But this guy was a legend. I think we should celebrate his life. And if you listen to what he said, that's what makes him a legend. And some things, his music, and that will make you to understand what is it. If you're a Liberian, you understand what the music is all about. We grew up listening to some of those who were born in the 70s and the 60s. Grew up listening to this old man, some of the songs that he sang. It's still a reality of today's day. And like, what happened with the past government right now, Georgia government, and like, they were all like, this is our time. We got to do what we're going to do, but it's not going to last forever. It's not going to last forever. No, where we are today is in somebody else's hand now. And what happened? And when talking about auditing or investigating them that pass the financial activities, now they're saying, wow, don't do that because you'll be witch hunting. So why are you afraid of? You think your hands are clean. But anyway, we want to say RIP. That's we want to say our professor to rest in peace. And we keep him and his family members in our thoughts and prayers. And thank you for the contribution you made to music in Liberia and also as well as to education. And we will play this song. This is one of the songs that he played that's very common in Liberia. Most people listen to. They call it If You Marry. And this is what we're going to take you home tonight. From there, we will wish you on the Friday. Link for 1 second while I'm trying to cue in the music for my own professor. Let me see what we got for him tonight.
Yep. We'll be back here on Friday with another edition. We may have a guest, and we hope that you can join us then. But we thank you for watching us. There is this joke about our platform that a lot of people do not follow, but it's after the show, if you go back to see...
Go on, Lifo, go on.
Yeah. So, like I said, probably 200-400 people watching us after the show. So, the time will come on is the time at the major platforms coming on Spinach, coming on TV arguments, coming on. Down there, like, you can watch us. We are starting far where we are. As long as we do live, we do inform me. That's how we have normal followers that follow us. Thank you.
So ya put your work, come my pull away. Kalo kadi wa iba kai no